So the 2021 season for the Jacksonville Jaguars was just a very bad and forgetful year. If you're a Jaguars fan like me, the Jaguars finished the season off 3-14. Trevor Lawrence, the rookie quarterback, struggled mightily in his rookie season, and the Jaguars hired and fired a first-year head coach in Urban Meyer. So let's recap the Jacksonville Jaguars 2021 NFL season. Begin today's video, I'd like to give a huge shout out to FLTeams.com, who I am affiliated with. At FLTeams.com, we do sports articles and blogs on the daily regarding sports teams in the state of Florida from the professional and at the collegiate level. If you guys would like to go check out FLTeams.com, I will link to them down below. Now, for the Jacksonville Jaguars, I'm going to give their 2021 season a D+, and that might be a little bit nice, maybe because I'm a fan, but I really give them a D+ on the season because they had two of the biggest upsets of the season. The Jaguars beating the Bills in Week 9 in Jacksonville, the whole Josh Allen fiasco, and the Jaguars have the better Josh Allen apparently. The Jaguars had two of the biggest upsets of this season. I know Washington beat Tampa Bay earlier this year in the regular season, and that was a phenomenal upset as well, but the Jaguars also beating the Colts in Week 18 was something special. And also the Jags, winning a game in London, hitting a game-winning field goal as time expired. Like, that was something special I think a lot of the NFL community like to see. Otherwise, this Jaguar season was pretty damn forgetful and pretty bad from start to finish. From the time I flew out to Houston to go see Trevor Lawrence and Urban Meyer's NFL debut, the Jaguars stunk it up for 5 games, essentially, even though there was increments of the Jaguars getting better. The Jaguars fly to London, get their first win, come into the bye week and get absolutely shellacked heading up to Seattle on the West Coast the following week. They go and beat the Bills, and then Week 10, heading into Indianapolis, the Jaguars started an 8-game losing streak from there. It started at Indy, and you know where it ended? The last game of the season versus Indy at home. So the Jaguars had a very roller coaster type season, but just wasn't a great season from start to finish. But let me get into some statistics and then we'll get into some awards. So the Jaguars not only did a bad job with the head coach this season, and obviously Urban Meyer was fired just a couple of weeks ago. Not a great hire by Shad Khan, and Trent Baalke will maybe be fired. We're not really sure, the general manager, but that's all, up on the air, up on the table. We'll have to see what happens with Trent Baalke and the Jaguars' next head coach. But Jaguars offensive coordinator Darrell Bevell, who is the interim head coach, really didn't do a great job this season either. I know Brian Schottenheimer was calling the plays the last couple of weeks, but, Jaguars just really struggle to find any consistency on offense, finishing with the number 32 ranked offense in terms of points per game, 14.9, which is obviously horrible. You finished last in the league. The Jaguars did have a plethora of injuries on offense, from Travis Etienne, the Liz Frank injury, Dan Arnold, Jamal Agnew, who's been an explosive player this year for the Jaguars, and DJ Chark, a guy who is hopefully going to get re-signed by the Jaguars, even if it's on a 1-year deal, possibly on a franchise tag. But all of these injuries definitely had a huge hit to this Jaguars offense, and it was very evident throughout the season. Defensively, the Jaguars were number 28 in points per game, 26.9 points per game allowed, even though the Jaguars definitely had their moments in their games where their defense just came out and played lights out, like we saw versus the Colts, like we saw versus the Bills in the first half of the Cincinnati game. The Jaguars defense, I don't think, is as bad as the statistics show, but it definitely needs a lot of room for improvement. And then last thing with the offense, Jaguars were number 5 in the NFL in terms of drop passes at 25 drop passes on the season. That doesn't help Mr. Sunshine back there. And speaking of Mr. Sunshine, Trevor Lawrence did have a very, very difficult regular season and rookie season in which he endured. Now, him and Peyton Manning both won 3 games their rookie season, so hopefully, that's a sign for something to come, especially with the type of talent that Trevor is. But also, Trevor Lawrence had 3,600 yards, 12 touchdowns, 17 interceptions, and was number 26 in quarterback rating, which is not very good. I don't expect Trevor Lawrence, with everything that he had to deal with, to go out there and, carry the whole team on his back. He did have his moments, and he had the best game of the season in the last game, so hopefully he can take that momentum and build on something positive heading into the offseason. Now let's get into some awards. So for the Jaguars play of the year, for me, it's got to be Jamal Agnew's kick 6, 109 yards, Gus Johnson on the call versus the Arizona Cardinals.
Got it up! and short. Agnew brings it out of the end zone. Agnew still running. Agnew down the sideline. Agnew touchdown Jacksonville. 109 yards.
I don't know what the hell Cliff Kingsbury was thinking. Knowing Jamal Agnew had the potential to go and return a kick, and that was one of the best plays of the season. Unfortunately, I wasn't at that Cardinals game. I had some personal issues going on, and I couldn't make it to that game. But, man, watching that on TV and hearing how loud that stadium erupted, that was something special. Jamal Agnew was something special. And that play, I think, will be forever etched, not only in NFL history and Jaguars history, but Jamal Agnew himself. That was something special. Now, my award for Game of the Year goes to the Jaguars in Week 18 versus the Indianapolis Colts. And the Jaguars got the best of both worlds. Lions beat the Packers, Jaguars beat the Colts. And that was something special, man. Seeing Carson Wentz and that Colts team go out and not make the playoffs because of it, I think that was something special, the way the Jaguars came out and just took over that game from start to finish on all three phases, offense, defense, and special teams. That was the Game of the Year if you're a Jaguars fan. My Offensive Player of the Year has got to be Marvin Jones Jr., a veteran wide receiver who has probably been one of the biggest additions in this free agency pool that we had in 2020. Marvin Jones Jr. has had 73 catches this season for 832 yards and 4 touchdowns. Now, that's only 3 catches shy of his career high, which was actually the season before over in Detroit when he was with Kenny Galladay, and Matthew Stafford as well. He had 76 catches. But Marvin Jones Jr. had a very solid and productive season in 2020 with the Jacksonville Jaguars, considering everything that had been going on. And then Defensive Player of the Year, it's got to be Josh Allen. The Jaguars have the better Josh Allen. 7.5 sacks on the season, 1 forced fumble, and 1 interception as well coming against Josh Allen. So Josh Allen is a guy who's going to be a cornerstone, key piece to this franchise moving forward. Every Jaguar fan loves him. I love his integrity. I think he's a great teammate and a leader. Him and Myles Jack are just 2 phenomenal guys. And, you know, Josh Allen deserves Defensive Player of the Year for the Jaguars. But that's really it when it comes to this Jaguar season. I mean, otherwise it was a very forgetful and not great season. I don't even want to tell you guys how much money I spent on the Jaguars this year, from flying to Houston, getting season tickets, tailgating. I mean, just every little thing that you could possibly mark up. Jerseys, hats, t-shirts, everything you could possibly think of. I blew a lot this year, but you know what? I love my Jaguars to the day I die. I won't love them if they sign Bill O'Brien. Just kidding, but I still don't want Bill O'Brien. Point is, though, love my Jaguars, and you know what? Hopefully we can continue to go in the right direction. What's in the past is in the past. You can't change it. Now we can, dictate. Hopefully we have a new GM. If not, we got to roll with it. Hopefully we get a great head coach. If not, we got to roll with it. But Jaguar fans, I got a lot of great Jaguars content coming out in these next couple of weeks. Obviously, when we hire a head coach, maybe some other breaking news happens where we fire Balky. Maybe not. That's all up in the air still. And then also, I've got some great draft content coming out as well in these next couple of weeks in preparation for this offseason as well, and possibly some free agent videos as well. So if you guys are interested in that and you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure you guys turn on notifications, and hit the subscribe bell to stay tuned for more NBA and Jacksonville Jaguars content that I do here on YouTube. And make sure you guys go follow me on all my socials. I will be posting there every single day, and I'm very active there. So make sure you guys go follow me. I'll link to those down below. Thank you guys again so much for watching the video. I really appreciate all the support, and you guys are awesome if you guys actually stuck around to the end. But Brett James, aka BJ, I'm out, y'all. Go Jags. Peace.